What's going on there, ladies and gentlemen? First episode after the copyright strike has been lifted on my channel, and we're going to go ahead and do 2 battles today in this episode, and every video to follow after this will be 2 battles in those episodes. Anyway, we're going to get started with some Road to Regionals today as we try to get better as a competitive battler, learn the strategies on the current metagame in VGC 2016 so we can get hopefully in the top cut in a regional or premier event. That would be really great. Get some nice CP so we can get to nationals in 2016. So, obviously, having the same team, no changes thus yet other than the Pixie plate we're rocking on our Sylveon. Don't think I'm going to change it yet, but looking like I'm going to be changing the Scrafty out. Scrafty really hasn't been putting any work in on my team. I only brought him to like 2 matches, and I believe I lost 2 of those matches. So gonna switch him out most likely, and probably put another fighting type in there. But we're gonna put our music on music 7. We're at 15-19 right now, at a record of 5-4 due to the loss that we have in a previous episode earlier today, when I was in my hoodie freezing cold, and we just misplayed that game. Also, we found out that obviously we have a huge weakness to rain and water. So 67 player. I didn't even see where he was from, but we have yet more water. We have the Lapras Azumarill with the water, and then we have the Salamence, Blaziken, the Scizor, and the Gengar. So there's a lot of possibilities for Megas right here. Obviously the top 4 being the possibilities for the Megas. Probably regular Gengar. Usually you would see regular Gengar. Probably regular Scizor. And regular Blaziken, but yet again, there's always a possibility that they're the Megas. But usually when you see Salamence, Salamence is the Mega for your team. Right off the bat, Sylveon does present a really good counter for his Salamence to keep it in check, but yet again we have the Scizor we have to deal with, the Gengar, and we have the Blaziken to deal with. Yes, the Blaziken really can't really do anything against the Sylveon, but actually, you know, neutral damage with the Hyper Voices. Anyway, let's start trying to see who we would like to bring here. Who do we think is a really good lead for him? Usually Gengar is a pretty good lead. You can also lead with Blaziken. Typically, you do not want to switch in Blaziken. Also, Azumarill is a huge strat. You really don't want Azumarill to go ahead and set up on you. Don't know whether or not I want to bring my Charizard early in the match. I might want to keep him in the back. Do look like we have some fast Pokemon on the other team other than that Azumarill. I'm going to bring the Cresselia in front, possibly setting up the Trick Room. Don't see any potential Fake Out users, and we do not. We could see the taunt come from the Gengar, but I have the Mental Herb on the Cresselia. The Landorus. Now, he could also bring his Lapras. Who else could I bring that present some offense? I could bring the Sylveon in the front, but then yet again the Gengar might be coming, but I'm going to bring him anyway. And I also have the Landorus for the Intimidate in the back. Heatran really doesn't do much against this team other than maybe like the Scizor, but really doesn't do anything against the rest of his team. The Salamence resisting it, Blaziken resisting it. Gengar, you know, is iffy, but again, with the Lapras and the Azumarill resisting it. So we do see the Gengar leading off right off the bat. If he decides to Mega Evolve with the Gengar, I can always skill swap the Shadow Tag away, and the Azumarill is in the lead as well, looking like a Pikachu with its yellow tint. Okay, so what could he possibly do here? Now, don't even know whether or not I want to go for the Trick Room play, because the Azumarill is obviously an incredibly slow Pokemon. I could skill swap his true power, his power ability away. That would really cripple him. But he still gets a belly drum off, and his attack is still incredibly high. Just does not double at that point. But I could also go for Helping Hand. Gengar possibly having the Focus Sash. So I could go for a Helping Hand. Let's go for this play right here. Kind of risky because we're letting the Azumarill set up for free. But I'm going to go out for the all-out attack on the Gengar. He's going to go for a Shadow Ball. It's going to do a lot of damage, probably half damage to the Cresselia. And he gets the special defense drop, of course, why not? Throw that in there. We are the second fastest Pokemon on the field, going to do a considerable amount of damage, and we're going to get rid of the Gengar. Alright, so the Gengar is no more, so... But we did get the special defense drop, and let's see if he does decide to set up. No, he's just going for a straight-up waterfall, so there's going to be no setup. Going to target down the Cresselia. Wow, that does a crap ton of damage. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, so that's why I didn't set up the Trick Room, because obviously the Azumarill is the slowest on the field. Could possibly see a Protect come out from the Blaziken, because obviously Sylveon is not going down on his turn without at least getting a Hyper Voice off, even if he doubles down on the Sylveon. So, what I could do here is... What could I do here? I could skill swap... with the Azumarill, predicting that he protects. I attack before the Azumarill. I really feel like that's probably the best play right here. And also... Do I go for the Moonblast on the Azumarill? Or do I target down the Blaziken? See who we have in the back. I believe we have the Charizard in the back, as well as the Landers. Do not want to switch in on a Waterfall on either one of those Pokemon. So, going to go for the Skill Swap and the safe Hyper Voice in case he does not want to... So Blaziken actually does go for the Flamethrower. Okay, so I'm going to get a Hyper Voice off, possibly bringing this Blaziken down to at least 30%, and hopefully the Azumarill down around... hopefully 50% with the Pixie Plate. 50% and around, you know, 10% with the Blaziken. So doing a lot of damage with that, holy crap. That is a lot of damage. Do show that I do not have the specs, though. Wow, okay. Oh my god. Blaziken could potentially have HP Ice, which is okay. That actually is okay. I feel like that bringing out the Landers right here to get the Intimidate on the Azumarill is the best option. Going for... So what does he go for? Probably HP Ice from the Blaziken onto the Landers, which I'll be able to take that with the Assault Vest. Or he could go for the target down on the Azumarill, but I'm going to attack before this Azumarill with my Landorus. Didn't take a picture of his team. He could be switching into his Salamence right now, anticipating a Earthquake come out. So I'm kind of... Do I want to Rock Slide right now, anticipating that the Salamence does come in the Azumarill slot? Because if I Earthquake, obviously it won't hit the Salamence, and I'll be intimidated as well, and that's not going to be too good. So we could go for the Rock Slide right here. Don't really like fishing for flinches, but we could also get the flinch on the Azumarill, and maybe a Protect or the HP Ice coming from the Blaziken. But I'm going to go ahead and Protect with my Sylveon. Let's see how this wants to play itself out. He probably is going to come in with the Salamence. Salamence does come in. Probably HP Ice coming out onto the Landers. If he doesn't want to do that, he's probably going to target down the Sylveon. I protected away from the Sylveon. Let's see. Blaziken goes for the Protect. Okay, so I could have literally... I could have literally just went for a Hyper Voice right there. So that was a really dangerous... He was banking on me protecting with my Sylveon right there, which was a good play on his part, but I am going to get at least some considerable damage onto the Salamence. Okay, so we have a tougher predicament right here. If I went for the Hyper Voice, the Salamence would have been dead. That would have been a dead Salamence. Now I have an Intimidated Landorus out here, which potentially could go down from a Hyper Voice as well as an HP Ice. So, do I switch in the Charizard, sack the Charizard? I don't know whether or not I want to make that play, but I can also get another Intimidate down onto the Salamence, as well as getting off another Rock Slide. But then he could just go for the Hyper Voice and an HP Ice. Landorus, do I want to sack you? I don't have Protect on the Landorus. Gonna unfortunately go into my Charizard right there. It is a bulky Charizard. But I have no choice, and then I'm going to go ahead and go for the Hyper Voice. It most likely looks like Sylveon will be going down right here. Only if I had Protect on my Landers, but unfortunately I do not. Alright, so if I didn't put my Charizard in there, my Landorus actually has the best chance of winning this game for me. So let's see how this wants to play itself out. Hidden Power Ice onto the Charizard. And then we're going to most likely see Hyper Voice. He is going to KO himself with the Life Orb. So if we get a single target down from the Salamence, it looks interesting, but he does do the Hyper Voice, which I was expecting. Charizard actually does survive that. So Charizard pulling through with the bulk that I invested in him. So we're going to have 2-on-2 right now. I'm going to get the Intimidate off on the Azumarill and the Salamence. So we're most likely going to see another Hyper Voice come from the Salamence. We're possibly a single target down on the Landorus, anticipating my Protect from my Charizard. Either way, it's not going to KO my Landorus. Okay, so the thing is, okay, so I protect with my Charizard. You know, I get rid of any potential damage from the Charizard, obviously, from the Hyper Voice. Get a Hyper Voice off onto the Landorus, probably bringing me down to around 60 to 50% health, and the Azumarill goes for the attack on the Landorus, and I'm pretty much done at that point. So I have to attack right here. I really do have to attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish for another flinch, go for the Heat Wave, Sun Boosted Heat Wave, and then go for a Rock Slide right here. Hopefully the Mance will be close to going down. But unfortunately, Mance is going to attack before both of my Pokemon, but the Azumarill will be the slowest on the field. Let's see how this wants to play itself out. Probably going to go for the safe Hyper Voice. Aqua Jet, okay, it's good in the sun, so it's not going to be doing too much. Even the Hyper Voice should not KO my Landorus. Oh man, the Charizard goes down. Only if you would have been able to survive with a sliver. And I'm going to go for the safe Rock Slide, obviously. Be nice if I got a crit, but it's not going to happen here. Looks like we are going to unfortunately lose this game. But it was a close one. It was a very, very close one. So at least when the games are kind of close like this, I can't really complain when I do lose. There are things that I could have done better. But, I mean, to be completely honest with you, other than maybe, like, and Draco Meteor, well, it does make sense. Yeah, get the more powerful move off. I don't know whether or not I would have went for the Draco Meteor right there, because Draco Meteor has a chance to 10% chance to miss. So he could potentially miss that, and I get my Rock Slide off. I connect with both of his Pokemon. I actually win. So I don't agree with that play. The Hyper Voice actually would have taken me out, because it's a single target Hyper Voice at that. But unfortunately, we're going to lose the first match. I honestly don't know what I could have done better in that match, potentially putting in better leads. But, I mean, I did get rid of the Gengar early on. The Salamence was always a threat in the back. I lost my Sylveon way too early on because of a lot of physical attacks onto it. The Azumarill just hammering my Sylveon. I think if I would have been able to protect my Sylveon a bit better, I could have won that game. I don't think leading with Sylveon right there was probably the best choice. I probably should have had it in the back for the Salamence. I led it against two Pokemon that could potentially take it out fairly easily, being the Azumarill and Gengar. But, you know, you learn from your experiences. We're going to find a player in the 1400s. He's going to have Slowbro, Lucario, Crobat, the Machamp, the Whimsicott, and the Ancient Grass type with the Rocking type as well. I don't even know its name. I don't know. It's not something you don't really see in VGC. It has Storm Drain, I do know that. It's viable in VGC. You usually see that on Gastrodon, though. Alright, so what could he be doing here? Obviously getting Prankster on the Whimsicott. That is always really annoying. Setting up the Tailwind. You know, setting up the Tailwind is actually really fast. Getting off Moonblasts. Could also Leech Seed, Toxic, Protect. Has Helping Hand. Probably Mega Slowbro. If it's not, he has no other Megas on his team. Well, he could have Mega Lucario. Could possibly be seeing Mega Lucario, taking me back to VGC 2014. Alright, so let's go ahead and see who we want to bring here. Sylveon is going to not have a great time against Lucario. Possibly could be seeing Lucario in here. But we could fight around that with both Charizard and Heatran. Landorus doing a lot of work here. so I really want to bring my Landorus. Just got to fight around the Slowbro. I really want to bring my Cresselia for the Whimsicott. Whimsicott is generally our lead. I don't have any water types, so Storm Drain probably not going to be in effect here. He's not going to bring him. So, Machamp's always also a threat. I really want to bring my Sylveon. I want to bring my Charizard, obviously. Don't know whether or not I want to lead with my Charizard. You know what? I'm going to lead with my Cresselia Charizard. Whimsicott leads. That's okay. I could skill swap him, get the sun up, get some heat waves off. He's probably going to lead with the Slowbro, possibly getting Calm Minds off, but I can also Solar Beam him as well. Bring the Landorus in the back as well as the Sylveon, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring the Sylveon in the back this time. Just so that he does not get KO'd early, because Sylveon really does present probably the most offense on my entire team, because you get a Pixelate boosted Hyper Voice, which is a spread move, and it also has the 100% accuracy, and with the Pixie Plate, it puts in a lot of work. Alright, so we're going to see Whimsicott and Slowbro, probably going to be Mega Slowbro, obviously. I can't crit the Mega Slowbro, but I can also get a Solar Beam off onto the Slowbro, and I can go ahead and, does he Tailwind here? Because Slowbro is really a slow Pokemon. He could get some investment with his Slowbro, but again, Slowbro is just so slow. I don't really know his speed, but I'm gonna go ahead and do I even need the skill swap Prankster? I'm gonna go ahead and skill swap Prankster because it's just really annoying to deal with, potentially forcing him to switch out. But does he switch out? I don't want to go for the skill swap just yet in case he does switch out. Let's go for the Trick Room. I believe Whimsicott does get taunt. If he taunts my Cresselia, I'm still going to get the Trick Room up. And let's go for a Solar Beam onto the Slowbro. He could potentially protect with a Slowbro right here. It's kind of counterintuitive because he's just wasting a turn if he goes for a taunt and a protect, letting me set up the Trick Room and getting off free damage with a potential Heat Wave off into the Whimsicott. But let's see how this turn wants to play itself out. No one is switching out, which is kind of interesting. So I could have went for the Heat Wave right there, taking the Whimsicott down to his Focus Sash if it does have the Focus Sash. Let's see what's going on here, and he does go for the Protect. Exactly what I said he was going to go for. I should have went for the damn Heat Wave. So, obvious play right there from myself. He predicts that pretty well. I should have just went for the Heat Wave onto the Whimsicott. I'm going to reverse his Trick Room. I had no freaking idea Whimsicott got Trick Room. I don't even know if he gets Trick Room. That's a new one to me. Trick Room on a Prankster Pokemon does really not make any sense to me. You typically would like to put that on a kind of a bulkier Pokemon, such as Cresselia, Cofagrigus. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, Slowbro. I mean, there's a lot of potential there, but he looks like he does want to set up the Trick Room, so I'm going to go ahead and let him do that. It's okay with me. I can go for another Solar Beam onto the Slowbro. He could be switching out right here. Obviously, I'm going to be faster than him. And, let's go for the Ice Beam onto the Whimsicott, break its Sash, go for the Solar Beam onto the Slowbro. Let's see if he wants to stay in. He's going to withdraw the Whimsicott. Okay, I can't really tell their names because I believe it's in either French or German. Okay, so he did bring that Pokemon there. I can't really think of its name. And the Lucario is going to come in right here. Which is okay. That's okay. I could have actually went for my own Trick Room right there, and probably would have been really helpful, because then I would be faster than the Lucario. Going to get a lot of nice damage off onto the Lucario. Get an Ice Beam off. Wish I would have remembered its damn name, but it's going to be nice, super effective damage there. But then, you know, yet again, not stab, move. So, what do we do? We could get rid of the adaptability on the Lucario. Also set up our own Trick Room. Don't know whether or not the Lucario wants to go for a... Lucario could have Rock Slide. That definitely is a thing. Lucario having Rock Slide is nothing that you want to mess with. So, I'm going to set up my own Trick Room, and then I'm going to go ahead and protect the Scout Owl to see what this Lucario wants to do. If it has Rock Slide, this is a really good protect on my part. Alright, so... Wow. Ice Punch? It's not even Mega Lucario? That doesn't really make any sense. I can just go for a Heat Wave on this turn. Alright, so Sun is still up, possibly going to be up for, I think at 2 more turns it's going to be up for, so, well, okay. I'm just going to go for a Helping Hand. Heat Wave should KO both these Pokemon if it does connect, and if he does switch in his Slowbro, still going to bring the Slowbro down to at least 30 to 40% with the Helping Hand. Alright, so he's not going to switch out either his Pokemon, so let's see what this Charizard can do against both of these Pokemon. Going to see the Ancient Power onto the Charizard. Charizard should be able to take that. And do we see the... Oh, man, he gets the stat boost. Gets the stat boost. Oh, man. Oh, I forgot! The freaking Curdilly attacks fast because it's slow. What am I, an ass? But obviously, I knew I was going to attack before the Lucario, which mattered the most. So, obviously not opting for the Bullet Punch right there. So, we're going to get the KO on both of his Pokemon. We're on our last turn of Sun right here. So, probably going to see a Protect come out from the Slowbro to protect from that Solar Beam, but... hopefully I can go ahead and predict that and switch out my Charizard to preserve the Sun. We have two, well, we have the Slowbro on the field, which is really slow. So the Slowbro actually could go for an attack right here. If he goes for the Skull, it's not going to be doing too much in the Sun. Excuse me. So I could bring in Sylveon. But is it even worth it at this point? I really would like to save Charizard when the Trick Room isn't up to preserve Solar Beam, but it doesn't even look like it's worth it at this point. I could also reverse the Trick Room right now with my Cresselia. There's so many options. There's so many options, but the Cresselia... I'm going to go into... is he going to protect? I really think he's going to protect. If he protects, he protects... That's going to Sylveon. Sylveon's pretty slow. Let's, oh, no, I want to attack. No, I don't want to skill swap. Oh, crap. Pokemon, switch, come on, switch. Oh, man, that was close there. Gotta pay attention. I was going to switch out my Cresselia with my Sylveon. Did not want to do that. My Cresselia wants to stay in here. Hopefully, he goes for the Protect on his Slowbro. I was going to go for the Taunt onto the Cresselia, which is perfectly fine. I have the Mental Orb. Metal Herb. But I'm gonna go ahead and go for... I should have just went for the wow, the Flamethrower. Okay, non-stab in the Sun, kind of makes sense. I'm gonna get an Ice Beam off, break the Sash. Gonna go for a Hyper Beam on the following turn, possibly seeing the Slack off on the Slowbro. Alright, so I don't really care for getting rid of the Trick Room right now because I have Sylveon in there. Should be attacking before the I should be attacking before the Whimsicott, obviously. Don't know whether or not... Probably not going to be attacking before the Slowbro, so let's go for a Helping Hand. He's probably going to taunt me again. And Helping Hand, Hyper Voice. Obviously, I'm going to have higher priority with the Helping Hand before he pranks or taunts me. So let's see how this turn wants to play itself out. He's going to go for another taunt, which is perfectly fine. I could just go for Ice Beams or switch out because I'm going to be getting a Helping Hand. He goes for a Surf. Okay, it's not going to do anything to either of my Pokemon. Going to get a boost. So the Whimsicott should be no more. And the Slowbro should do... Wow, that does a lot of damage to a bulky-ass Mega Slowbro. Showing you the power of Helping Hand, Pixelate boosted, Pixie Plate boosted, Hyper Voice. Holy crap, Sylveon is amazing. I love Sylveon. It's so awesome. I love it. Why wouldn't you love Sylveon? It's so awesome. So it looks like we're going to get a win. Match was forfeited in the second game. So losing a close match in the first game, picking up a second win in the second game. So splitting the games 1-1 in this episode. Lost one earlier. Like I said earlier, I do not like not posting my losses. I like posting my losses to get feedback from viewers. I like to post losses also so I can go back and watch the video to see what I did wrong, to see what I can do better. Also, I know that I have a weakness to water, and I know there's ways to fight around that. So got to become a better player with the team that you are using, and there are changes that you can do to your team. You can't just drop the team altogether. You got to keep going, trucking through those losses and picking up wins where needed. So Scrafty not doing anything again, so hopefully Scrafty can pull his weight at the end of this week and possibly doing a few more changes to the team next week. But I think we're going to be 6-5, so Not too bad. Not too bad. I'll take that. Anyway, no more copyright strikes. So how long is this video? It's 24 minutes long. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Going 1-on-1 also. So, anyway, guys, I'll catch you guys tomorrow with some more Pokemon VGC. Please leave some comments down below if you would like to battle me over the weekend. We could do VGC doubles, best of 3. We can also do competitive singles. You just let me know. I have Skype. We can also Skype. So, catch you guys tomorrow with some more Pokemon VGC. Take care.